Nobody gives a fuck about Superman. You don't give a fuck about Superman, even if you think you do. What's special about him? That he was the first superhero. That's it. I can't believe that this guy he's lifting, look in this comic, he's lifting up a car. Whoa, this is a guy lifting up a car? That's impossible. Well, since then we've kind of grown up, haven't we? We've invented superheroes with pathos and problems, with strange and interesting superpowers. I mean, it's the most basic set of superpowers possible. Rogue from X-Men had flight, invincibility, and super strength. They hand this out like candy. Captain Marvel, it's easy, no one cares. DC Comics has struggled for years, with ways to make Superman interesting. And they had that meeting, all the DC executives around the table. And they realized there's really only one way to make Superman relevant again. We gotta kill him. So who could kill Superman? I mean, the whole idea behind Superman is that he's unkillable. Kryptonite's a problem, but beyond that, he can basically kick anyone's ass. We had to create a new character who was capable of taking Clark Kent down. Let me take you across the galaxy to a distant planet where a mad scientist is trying to create the ultimate weapon. And the way he's doing this is probably the most roundabout way ever. He's found this baby, and basically he's throwing the baby against a wall and throwing it to wild animals and like down flights of steps, kicking it, he's taking a shit on it. And when the baby dies, he clones it. And he just does it again. So he's infinitely throwing babies against the wall, cloning them new baby, taking the pieces of the old baby, cloning it new baby, until finally he creates this thing, Doomsday, who is the ultimate baby. The ultimate baby. Doomsday is awesome. He's just kicking everyone's ass. He's like a gray version of the Hulk. Wait, there is a gray version of the Hulk. He's like a Hulk with little green underoos and bony protrusions. No, he's just a fucking gray version of the Hulk. They were just like, hey, we need to kill Superman. Let's just pull something out of our ass. Oh, what'd we find in our ass? It was the Hulk. Who knew? Shit! This baby, the ultimate baby, attacks the mad scientist and rapes his dick. He's on this planet, and some dude like blows him up, but to blow him up, takes up the whole planet. Kills almost everyone on the planet. He ends up drifting through space in a little like space prison, in his little space crib, and he crashes on Earth. Meanwhile, the mid-90s Justice League, they're like, oh, somebody like crashed a truck. Let's go check it out. So all these losers go check out this crashed truck. They're like, hey, a truck. All of a sudden, Doomsday pops out. He's like, bitches. He's fucking punching everyone in the face. They're like, fuck, run, fuck. It's the Hulk! The Hulk is trademark Marvel Comics, by the way. Run! It's the Doomsday. Booster Gold. He marks this beautiful occasion by getting punched into space by Doomsday. He gets punched into space, and he would have kept going, but up in outer space, Superman, who just happened to be flying by, catches him and says, hey, bro, you look fucked. And Booster Gold's like, Doomsday! Superman flies down. He ends up running into Doomsday. Doomsday is like, Rah! I am not prepared for this sort of anarchy. They get into a fist fight. Doomsday to like the bottom of a lake. Superman's like, I guess that's taken care of. He flies away. Meanwhile, Doomsday comes up, and I shit you not, this is in the comic. I'm not just bullshitting this out of my butthole. Doomsday sees on TV that there's a professional wrestling match, and he goes, I'm gonna go to Metropolis because I like to fight, and I'll go to fight. He goes to Metropolis, and at this point, we have to deal with the fact that DC was trying to introduce a lot of new characters and make them important. People like Titania, and this other guy, the Guardian. They show up, and they're doing really well again. Lois Lane is like, Lois Lane, we're fighting live from the scene where Doomsday is destroying everything, just everything. And Superman comes down, Titania gets like he like sticks a bone in her nose, and then like Guardian is like just no one cares about him, and he disappears. And then Superman and Doomsday just punching each other in the middle of the street, just punching and punching and punching each other, and they're punching each other so hard, and then suddenly they give each other the biggest punch ever. Superman goes, nah. Doomsday goes, blah. Let me just say something. Let's take a moment. Let's take a little aside. If this had been Doomsday versus Batman, I think this would have been a shorter fight. I think Batman would have been like, everybody, hey, Robin, Nightwing, I've devised this sponge, and it's a big sponge, and we're gonna stick it in Doomsday's ass, and he's gonna die. It wouldn't have been a punching contest. Like, you'd think Superman would have more than this, like, frat boy logic of just, like, punch face, let's see who goes harder until one of us passes out. And yet... Well, it's like runs out. Clark, Superman, everybody, his name is Superman, not Clark. I love you. Oh, did I punch him? Did I punch him pretty hard? Yeah, you punched him like so hard. Superman's like, no!
Camouflage ou fly. Camouflage babu. When I'm rubbing ravage, oh, why would you wash my robe gashi? Robe my feet no red, rano shame my movie kasha.
So Doomsday, you ran the fuck out of time. Fuck you, Superman, now it's time to die. Comic book assassin, killing you with cash and taking your whole canon and then throw it in the trash can. Fuck comics, only read The Economist.
Okay, so Superman is dead. Lord have mercy, they had a black cover for Superman with like a bloody Superman symbol. An iconic character has bit the dust. Superman meant something to people. This was on the news. This was everywhere. I can't believe Superman died. And yet, DC couldn't leave it alone. Let's talk about the reign of the Superman. So, merely one issue after Superman kicked the bucket, 4 different pretenders to the throne show up in Metropolis. The first one is called the Metropolis Kid. He's basically Superboy if Superboy was like a Chippendales dancer. He wears like this super tight leather jacket and this like spandex suit, and there's nothing gay about it. And he goes, "Don't call me Superboy, I'm the Metropolis Kid." And he can fly and do all this crazy shit just like Superman. But he's claiming not to be Superman. He's some other dude. Then there's this dude who like looks just like Superman, except for he wears like Bret Hart like sunglasses, floats around and incinerates people. And he's called the last son of Krypton, I think. I don't know, what matters is that he's actually an ancient robot called the Eradicator who like was activated after Superman's death to like avenge him. It doesn't matter. Last son of Krypton's floating around, blowing people away. And keep in mind, this is like the death of a Messiah figure. So people in Metropolis are like, oh my god, last son of Superman, we love the way you incinerate random ass people. Destroy, destroy. And they're like, you're the real Superman returned from the dead. Destroy, destroy. And he just incinerates them. Meanwhile, this guy, John Henry Irons, this steel worker. By the way, John Henry Irons, come on. And he's a black guy. I can't. He becomes like one of the most important new heroes. They call him Steel. He's the only one of these 3 who like looks nothing like Superman due to him being an overweight black grandfather. Now this character, I'm going to forget about him after we talk about him here, but you need to understand that for years, DC pushed this guy like he was the next big thing. So now we're on to the 4th Superman. This guy looks almost just like Superman. He has like a little bit of Terminator face on the left side. He's sort of all robotic. But he looks just like Superman, and he claims to have amnesia. He's like, oh, dude, Lois Lane, I do know you. And I remember something about like, Kent Farm, what's that? And she's like, oh my God, Clark, you're back. You're a robot, but you're back. Superman is back. It's great. There's a problem. Okay, so about 10 years prior, a character had been introduced named Hank Henshaw. He'd been introduced as part of a storyline in Superman, which was basically just making fun of the Fantastic Four. He was a parody of Reed Richards. It was about 4 people blasted off into space, came back with poisonous radiation, just like Fantastic Four, except for instead of, I'm sorry, I love this. Instead of becoming superheroes, they just all sort of died horrible, depressing deaths from radiation, and there was nothing Superman could do to help. Keep in mind, his wife began to become invisible, that it was because she was phasing into an alternate dimension. He, like, sacrificed himself to save her. He jumped into this computer at LexCorp, and he, like, fixed her, but now that he was in this computer, he rebuilt himself this cyborg body. She was so disgusted by him that she threw herself out a window and killed herself. So this character hadn't really shown up again since then. Well, guess what? Superman's DNA, turns out, was in this thing called a birthing matrix. Now, on Earth, we just call a birthing matrix a vagina, but on Krypton, it's like this giant computer. Remember the little Superman pod, the little, like, space baby stroller that he came down in? That was the birthing matrix, and his DNA was in there. Hank Henshaw is a consciousness that's able to jump from machine to machine. And guess what? It ended up in his space stroller, and he cloned himself an identical body of Superman with all the electronic parts. So he's fucking evil! He's completely insane! He blames Superman for the death of his wife, her brother, and his best friend. It's all fucking over. Now everyone believes he's Superman. They're like, great, man. You're the best, man. Superman's back. He's like, hey, Eradicator. People are like, Eradicator, Superman. Eradicator's like, destroy, destroy. He's like, fuck you, dude! Fucking kicks him in the balls, rips his head off. Eradicator's done. He's like, fuck everything! And he blows up Coast City. Coast City is where Green Lantern lives. It's his metropolis. It's his Gotham. Green Lantern's out in space when this happens. Hal's off in the ether, you know, doing like ring shit.
What the fuck? Who blew up my city?
Cyborg Superman is like, I'm leaving. Hal Jordan's like, I'll rebuild my city using the ring. Green Lantern Corps is like, that is a violation of your bullshit, man. You can't use it for personal gain. I'm coming to the planet. I'm talking to you motherfuckers. He goes up to the planet, and they're like, you can't use your ring for personal gain. I've been under a lot of stress recently. Yeah, why? Because everyone you know is dead, and we're stopping you from repairing anything in your life. Hal Jordan's like, fuck everything. He starts killing Green Lanterns left and right. You didn't see this coming, did you? Death of Superman? Oh shit, Green Lantern's a new supervillain. Hal Jordan's gone completely fucking bonkers. He's killed all the Green Lanterns. He has all their rings, and he's like, nah, I've gone fucking crazy. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Superboy tries to fight Cyborg Superman, but Cyborg Superman is an adult version of Superboy, so it's like, you're done. Steel tries to fight Cyborg Superman. Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, is like, fuck you, dude. He kicks Superboy's ass, Steel's ass. He fucked up the Eradicator. There's only one Superman left, man. And Lois Lane is like, are you sure you're not Clark Kent? I just killed 30,000 people. Yeah. Suddenly, boom! Someone fucking hit Cyborg Superman in the face. It's Superman. Superman's not dead? It turns out when Kryptonians get the living fuck punched out of them, they go into something called a healing coma, which is identical in all terms and purposes to human death. So the sleep and return of Superman is not as compelling of a title, but that's what happened. He came out with like long hair and like he looks like super 90s and he's like, Cyborg Superman, what the fuck are you doing here? And he just beats the shit out of him, tears his head off and then he's back. He like went to Lois Lane, he's like, why didn't you tell me that like if you got beat up, you go into a healing coma? Superman's like, I didn't know. So Lois, I'm really sorry. I hope you didn't fuck anyone, because if you fucked anyone while I was dead, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Lois was like, well, there were 4 guys pretending to be you, and there was really only one way to know. Superman was like, damn, man. So, it sort of ended just on a real whimper of just Superman's back. He has long hair now. But what matters here, and really the thing you should take away from all this, is that the death and return of Superman forever broke death in comics. There's something my dad made up, which is he told me when I was little and I was frustrated about rules in movies. He said, how do you kill a vampire? And I was like, stake through the heart, garlic, sunlight. And my dad was like, no. You can kill a vampire however the fuck you want, because vampires don't fucking exist. You can make up rules for any kind of thing you want. Aww. And comics had been pretty ginger with death up until the death and return of Superman. All these characters who died suddenly were open season. They could come back. Anyone could come back with no consequences. The sacred suspension of disbelief as far as death had ended. Death of Superman didn't kill Superman. It killed death. And that's the death and return of Superman. You got all that, son?
Thanks, Dad. I understand it much better now.